everybody. If you guys are interested in knowing where service dogs are trained, how they get matched up with their people, and all that wonderful stuff, join me as I chat with the Lions Foundation of Canada here in Oakville, Ontario. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. We're counting on you.
Hi, I'm Ian Ashworth. I'm the Director of Program Development here at the Lions Foundation of Canada.
Welcome everybody to Olivia Connects. My name is Olivia Gudaniec, and as you just heard, this is Ian. Welcome to the show.
Nice to meet you, Olivia. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So the Lions Foundation of Canada, so essentially what they're doing is assisting Canadians who have medical or physical disabilities and providing them with dog guides at no cost.
Absolutely, yes. It's a huge, huge program that we've got here.
And it's a charity.
It is a charity. We receive no funding from the government or anything else, so absolutely, yeah.
And it's the largest school of its kind in Canada.
Probably, yes.
So that's quite impressive.
Yeah. We're certainly the most diverse.
For sure. So I read online that it's $25,000 to train and place each dog. Yeah. How do you do that? I want to just kind of break down how that's possible with no funding.
Okay, well, we have a group of fabulous donors, support from a wide variety of sort of sources. So first and foremost, we're a Lions project. We also have corporate funding as well, some fabulous donors. Pet Value is our biggest donor at the moment, and they are huge help, a huge support, and have done some great things for us. They've sponsored well over 100 dogs in all our programs, and are now providing us with free food for all our puppies and dogs in training and all our breeding stock. We get some great donations from just individuals who see what we're doing and want to help.
It's good to have so many people come together for such a great cause.
It really is, and it's essential for us.
Are there enough foster families?
We struggle sometimes because Mother Nature is never predictable. So sometimes we've got like lots of puppies in our breeding program, and then other times it goes a bit quieter. So it does vary.
Yes, and it's a 1 year. So let's say I wanted to go through the process. I would go online, fill an application.
Absolutely, yes.
And the website is dogguides.com.
Dogguides.com.
And then so I would take a puppy in for a year. It's never longer?
Sometimes a little bit longer.
So who decides when it's time?
So that really depends on two things. First of all is what's the puppy like at home. So some puppies are really nice and well matured at a year old. Some might need a little bit longer to sort of grow up. Is that we do actually have 7 different programs under our sort of banner. So it's sort of like a career stream for dogs. So they can come in on one track, and if the instructor feels, well, it's not quite the right sort of job for this dog, we can then switch tracks and the dog can really do the work that they're suited to.
That's
so
excellent.
It really works well.
Yeah. So we never give up on those doggies.
Exactly, yeah. And then, as a result of that, about 70% of our dogs actually do graduate and go on to help somebody, which is pretty good success rate.
Yeah, and how do the families that foster, I guess they're in that mentality that they have to part?
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of tears,
I can't even imagine.
It's really tough because, they get their little bundle of joy at 7 or 8 weeks old. And if you've seen little yellow Labrador puppies or Labrador puppies, they are the cutest. So they get that, and then all the house training and everything else is difficult.
That first year is the hardest.
To
really go through all that, and then
and then you're just getting your puppy really nice, and it's walking nicely. It's completely house trained and everything, and then we snatch it away, and it comes into training.
Well, it's good that there are people out there that
it really is. So we couldn't do it without our foster families. They're a fabulous bunch of people. But then the great thing about that is that then they do come back, and then they see the client that their puppy is going to help.
Okay,
so
I didn't know that.
We have a graduation night, and we invite the foster families, and then they come and get to see the person who their puppy is going to help. And more Kleenex.
I'm almost crying.
Yeah.
Do you think OHIP will ever cover therapy dogs at any point?
Of Well, that's a big question. I don't think they will, no. And for a couple of reasons. I think, first of all, at this stage, unfortunately, there isn't really any sort of legislation around therapy dogs or service dogs. There's very, very little. You know, BC have introduced a Service Dog Act, and a couple of the other provinces are like following on. But literally anybody can set up as, you know, I'm training a service dog. So I think that's probably a big hurdle to any sort of like official funding or resources or anything like that.
Are there ever dogs that go through the foster program and then are considered just not eligible for the 7 programs?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, our standards are very, very high. And that's the important thing to remember. You know, what we're doing is very, very important. You know, people's lives literally depend on what we're doing. So not just any dog can get through. So we have to make sure that the training standard is very, very high and the dogs achieve that. Yeah. And also there's health issues as well. You know, no matter how well we run our breeding program, there's always going to be some health problems that crop up in dogs, and that, you know, precludes them from being in the program.
So now I think we're going to get to see a puppy?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, that's what everybody comes for. Yeah.
Right? Okay, so let's get up, let's get organized, and we'll see you in a second.
Thank you so much.
Hi.
There we go.
So I want to ask why, like, strangers aren't allowed to come and pet service dogs.
That's a really good question, and it's really important as well. So a lot of our service dogs are doing very, very important jobs. They're helping, you know, guide, they're helping, you know, detect, you know, diabetic lows, or help opening doors. But primarily it's the distraction. So if you're calling a dog's name or offering it treats, it's being distracted from the job.
And they're always required to wear some sort of in public.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, in their home situation, they're just a pet dog. So they do their job, but they don't have to wear the harness when they're in the home situation. But out in public for access and for identification, then yeah, they always wear their harness.
Good to know.
Okay.
All right, thank you
Okay,
so much.
Tess.
And before I let you go, Ian, if there was another job you could be doing or have dreamed of doing, whether it's for a day or a week, what would you do and why?
Well, when I was at school, I wanted to be a veterinarian. So that was really what I wanted to do. And the reason actually I'm here is because I flunked all my exams. So that was really, because to be a vet, you have to have really high marks.
Absolutely.
And I didn't like school. So I flunked my exams, and a friend of mine who actually did have a guide dog in the UK, he said, well, have you ever thought of, you know, training guide dogs? I said, no, never thought of that. I want to be a vet. So that's how I started. I went for my interview. So now I'm here, and the Autism Assistance Program is fabulous. I just love it. You know, I see some of the children that we help, and they start off and they are non-verbal, they don't talk, and they are a constant, you know, worry to their parents or whatever. They're running and they don't sleep at nights. And then we get the phone call or the email saying our child slept through the night for the first time ever. The one parent that was fabulous, she actually said that their child had never laughed until he received his service dog. And he was like 5 years old, and they'd never seen him laugh before. Aww. And his dog was goofing around, and he started giggling the first time when he was 5 years old. So things like that is just, that's what makes it.
Yeah, well, it's the touching, rewarding stories. I've read your reviews on Facebook. There's more sappy, lovey-dovey stuff. So if you guys want to read that,
absolutely.
The link will be in the description box.